my friends, and welcome back to another episode of Desire Dialogues. Today's episode is about setting the mood and really just figuring out kind of what turns you on and also what turns you off. So, have you ever caught yourself pulling away from your partner? Not because you're mad, but because you can't really get in the mood. You don't really feel turned on. You're probably just tired. You're touched out and probably emotionally spent. And then you don't even know how to even explain that to them, right? You don't even know where to begin. So in this episode, we're going to get into why this happens and really how to connect back with your desire when your emotional plate is just over fucking flowing. So spoiler alert, my friends, it's not about lingerie. It's about resentment, mental load, and feeling like a damn mind reader. So let's, I'm going to share something real quick. I remember a client, let's call her Jessie, right? So she loved her partner very much, right? But every time that he reached over for her in bed, she stiffened up. And it wasn't really out of fear or lack of love, but more like because earlier that night, she ended up cooking dinner. She handled all the homework for the kids. And then she cleaned up the kitchen. And she hasn't even had a minute alone yet, right? And so she told me, she's like, I'm not mad at him. I just can't feel sexy when I'm carrying everything around. When I feel like I'm doing anything. Everything, I mean. And it's like, does that sound familiar? It's what happens when this is ignored. So what happens when it gets ignored, right? We're lonely, we're disconnected, and then connection and sex to it, it feels like this chore. So let's break it down, right? The mental load, what is that? Is it the invisible stuff? Is it the ongoing labor of managing the whole household, managing your life, the home, the family? And desire doesn't live in resentment, exhaustion, and a place where you feel unseen. It can't thrive there. And also too, I want to address the fact that, women, especially in, heterosexual couples, there's this myth that they're just less sexual. And honestly, it's not even about low libido. It's about this extremely overloaded nervous system and a backed up resentment closet, right? Does that sound familiar? So desire blockers equal emotional clutter plus unspoken needs plus a power imbalance. Are you feeling me now? Okay. I want you to reframe this. You're not broken, right? You're not cold. You're not withholding. Your body may just be in protect mode or get shit done mode and not pleasure mode. We're so tapped out. We don't know how to live in that pleasure mode sometimes because we're in the I got to get shit done. Where I have to protect my energy because I have to do all these other things. And then there's nothing wrong either with needing emotional connection and support and help around the house before feeling open to sexual activity. It's desire needs room to breathe. She can't show up when you're doing, 17 things at once, or, I can't show up for you when I feel like my needs are fucking invisible. So here's some tangible tools. All right. And from a sex coach, this is what I'm going to ask you to do. All right. It's called the desire debrief. All right. I'm going to ask you to ask yourself these 3 questions. What am I holding on to right now? Second question, what would make me feel more supported, seen, or soft right now? So definitely pause this, grab a notebook, or take a quick screenshot so you can remember what time I said this at on this episode. And the last question, ask yourself, what kind of connection do I crave? For example, is it emotional? Is it physical? Is it sensual? Is it playful? And then I really want you to think about getting into a practice of soft before sexy. So think 10 to 15 minutes of pure non-sexual connection, whether it's cuddling, dancing, being held, having your hair played with while you're watching TV, being listened to. So the thing is, sometimes your libido isn't low, it's just under-cared for. So next thing is to share the load. When you share the load, you're leaving room for the flame to be sparked. So when we redistribute the emotional labor and all the things on your mental to-do list, it leaves a little room left over for the door to open to intimacy. So some type of conversations you can have could be like this. I feel like I can't relax into sex when I'm carrying XYZ. Can we check in on that together? So some things that you could actually, say tonight. Here's a couple of scripts and some starter lines. Get your notebook out. I want you, and I think we need to clear some space for that. Another one, I love you, and I need some emotional closeness before physical closeness. Another one, let's figure out how to reconnect, not just sexually, but soulfully. So here's the thing. You're not broken. You're not frigid. You're emotionally full. And there is no more room for the other things, right? It's hard to put desire on the plate too. And your desire deserves space, not shame, right? Not to be unprioritized. And it's like, I really wish we could just make it easier to prioritize it. But that takes work too, and that's okay. And knowing that you're not mad at them, you can't get turned on because you have all this emotional clutter. All right. So I really wanted to send this out today because it can hit home for so many people. And it's, you're not alone. All right. You're not alone. So if you like this episode, give it a little like, give it a review, share it with a friend. If you know that they are just somebody who always has that emotional clutter, right? And I just want to let you know about my membership opening. I have a coaching membership called the Pleasure Collective. And it's because your sex life deserves more than like dusty how-to books and advice that doesn't necessarily fit your body or your relationship, right? It doesn't feel truly you. So inside this membership, you actually get access to a real-life sex, love, and intimacy coach. Hey, it's me. So we work together to fast track your way to connection, juice your desire, and way yummier pleasure. So it's like no guesswork, rituals, practices, turn-ons that actually work in your real life with your real body, even with this mental overload you have right now. So that's the thing. It's like, what if your sex life felt like a spell that you just couldn't wait to cast? Skip the years of like those awkward books and listening forever on the podcast membership, or relationship counseling. So like no more wondering like what's wrong with your libido. You just really get to learn about yourself. One of the biggest things in my membership that we do is we build your personal pleasure usual manual. And that's with my 4 square method. 4 different key components that I actually don't see a lot of people teaching at all. So pleasure is your birthright. And is it time to claim it and lean in? Because pleasure is not a mystery. It's a practice. My friends, until next time, be well, and I can't wait to talk to you then.